Okay, it's me again, Freedom Through Christ. Today I'm going to talk about the spiritual bondage of hatred. At first, I would like to point out, that this video is not about, that you are doing something wrong, what you are doing wrong. This video is about that there are things in your life that has control over you. Yeah, a little, which I plan to redo my, atheism video on spiritual bondage. Because, I guess, some of the things I said kind of came out wrong. Let's see. Okay. Now I believe that there are two different types of hatred. There's the one type of hatred that's fueled by self-righteousness, arrogance, which leads to discrimination, that they feel like they're somehow better than you are. And you're nobody, you're nothing, you're inferior to you. I mean, they're inferior to, they feel like they're better. And that would be, the type of hatred that the KKK has against people who are not white. And then there's, another type of hatred that's being fueled by pain and anger and maybe even a grudge. Let's see. Might have to make a two-part video, or a video for each type of hatred. But okay. Now, either way, hatred can take control over your life. Either way. I think the second type of hatred that I mentioned, the one that's fueled by anger and pain. I mean, by pain and anger, in that order. I think that kind has more control over your life than the discrimination, like the KKK. The kind of hatred that they feel against the black people when anybody is not white. And if you ask me, that kind of discrimination, it does not make any sense whatsoever to hate people because of the color of the skin and the country that they come from. That does not make any sense to me. And I think I have heard somebody say, or somewhere, I forgot exactly where, that the KKK don't like black people because they believe that something about Cain and Abel. They believe that God turned Cain's skin black. Which that doesn't even make sense to me either, because if you read the Bible, you see that he didn't. I have to look up that verse, but I've heard people say that God didn't turn Cain black. But either way, even if he did, that was between him and God. I mean, it doesn't make sense to hate people for something that they have control over. And that will take control of your life. And this is not about, like I said, what you're doing wrong. You know, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this, you know, this is about, why what led you to do something wrong. Like, see, we don't realize, the things in our life that has control over us. Now we need to recognize that. Let's see what else. I could name other types of discrimination. Which is ultimately going to come down to how much control it has over your life. You know, the discrimination, you know, they have meetings and discussions about how they don't like black people, or this race and that race, and they spend so much time in that hatred. Ugh. How much time do I have? Oh man. Oh, but I like sleep. And I feel a sneeze coming on. Hold on a minute. 1 second. Okay. Excuse me. Wow, did it really take me a couple of minutes to sneeze, or try to force myself to sneeze? Excuse me. Okay. As I was saying, hatred takes control over our lives. And then the other type of hatred, the one that's fueled by pain and anger. I think that has more control over your lives than the other one. Because hatred takes control over our lives, and if it's based off of pain and anger, then when you hate somebody, then what you're doing is you're holding on to that pain, to that anger. You're holding on to what they did to you, to what that person did to you, instead of letting it go. One of my favorite quotes in the Bible is Luke 23:34. At least, I like the first half of it. When Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." You gotta take into consideration, by reading all four of the Gospels, what they did to Jesus, what they did to him, and then put that in with Luke 23:34. And from my perspective, we could look back at that and say, it doesn't make any sense that that Jesus would forgive somebody for doing that to him. But yet, he did it. I mean, nobody would have blamed him if he didn't. But because Jesus did forgive them, it inspired me to be a forgiven person. And it gave us an example. So Jesus not only taught forgiveness, he lived it. I mean, imagine how much effort it must have taken to let go of all that pain and all that anger and just say, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." That is just amazing. I think that's the most powerful statement in the Bible. Because when you hold on to pain, hatred, you hold on to the pain of what that person has done to you. And whenever that person's around, that offended you in some way, they have done some wrong to you, whenever that person's around, you just get a feeling of anxiety. You think that person's gonna try to start something. Okay, about 2 minutes. You think that person's gonna try to start something, and you're just looking at them, like waiting for them to start something. Then you feel anxiety, stress. You just know that they're gonna start something. Or you're offended by the mere mention of their name. That tells me that it has control over your life. And I know that sometimes we have a desire to forgive somebody, and it hurts too much. And I fully acknowledge that. Happened to me once. It's like we want to let go of what they did, but it just, that somebody's gonna do something, somebody's gonna say something. What that saying about sticks and stones, it's a lie. Anyways, we need to be aware of things in our lives that has control over us, that lead us away from Jesus Christ and what He did for us. We need to be aware. Jesus Christ can free you from spiritual bondage, from this. If you let Him. I guess this is it for this video.